Hello, this is Jackie B. Peterson. I'm the author of Better, Smarter, Richer, 7 Business Principles for Solo and Creative Entrepreneurs. It's my job and my mission to help solos, those of you in one-person businesses, whether you're encore entrepreneurs, creatives, consultants, photographers, artists of all kinds, designers, whoever you are in your solo business, is to help you become more financially successful at what you're doing. And what I've learned over my years as a business coach and consultant is that solo businesses are not the same as traditional businesses. There's some things you just plain need to do to be very successful as a solo. And that's what I talk about in my book, Better, Smarter, Richer. So I hope you will take a look at my website, bettersmarterricher.com. If you go there, you can download my free ebook. You can also order a copy of Better, Smarter, Richer, although it's also available on Amazon.com. And you can take a look at our calendar and see what events that we have coming up. There are some coming up in the holidays, over the holidays, and early in January. And also you can join the conversation on the blog. We've got a lot of solos who post to our blog, and we get some good conversations going. So love to have you join in. Also, of course, keep tuning in to Solo Pro Radio. We talk to a solo entrepreneur every week and get to talk about all the different ways that you can be a solo entrepreneur. I think it's the best way to be in business. I am one myself. So as we know, our guest today is Rebecca Miller. And Rebecca is an inspirational speaker, a business success training, and executive managing. She teaches in business success training. She's wonderful at that. And she's also the executive managing director of the Portland chapter of ewomen-network, a premier women's business networking organization. Rebecca has a BA in psychology and is a self-taught health, success, and business expert. We're going to hear about that. After a successful 7-year career as a stockbroker, Rebecca moved from Tennessee to Oregon to use her extensive knowledge in sales, marketing, and networking to serve the Portland area. Rebecca is a natural leader whose positive attitude cannot help but rub off on those around her. I've experienced that, and it's very true. Her passion is helping others to be successful on their own terms and providing easy avenues to get there. This is great. Hello, Rebecca.
Hey, Jackie. It's great to be on air with you today.
Oh, I think it's terrific. I'm just delighted. Every time I get one of my Better, Smarter, Richer groups together and they talk about how they're networking, what they're doing, they say, do you know about ewomen-network? Do you know Rebecca?
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I've definitely stirred up quite a bit of people in the year and a half that I've been out here in Portland.
You have. It's wonderful. So
Thank
why don't
you
you start by telling our listeners your story, like where you grew up, where you went to school, what you did, before you came to Portland, and how you got to Portland.
Yeah, it's really a neat story. I think that a lot of people can also relate to, and that I grew up with a very conservative family and just really always did what I thought I needed to do for society to make me happy. So, I went to school and was always getting good grades, went to college, and I grew up in Knoxville, Tennessee. I should say that. That's something that's a little bit different, which is clear on the other side of the country, so 2,500 miles away. And I really just wasn't sure what I wanted to do when I grew up, and I was always very good at being a leader and got good grades and all that kind of stuff, but I really just didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, and I think that a lot of people really feel like that at many different points in their life. And I went to Maryville College, which is a private liberal arts school not too far away from Knoxville, and I still just really didn't feel led to do anything specific. And so after I graduated, I became a financial planner and stockbroker, which if people know me, they would probably think that that was kind of random, but I actually joined my father and my brother on a team, and we all worked together. So really interesting background because not very many women are stockbrokers, and especially not in Tennessee. And I did that for 7 years, and what I found was that I absolutely loved having the knowledge that being a financial planner allowed me to learn. And it was a really awesome job compared to most jobs out there because you still got to pick your own hours and pretty much be your own boss and have your own clients. but I was really not passionate about finance or the stock market. And I loved helping people and working with people, but I just really didn't want to do it forever, I felt like, and didn't know where to go from there. And I became really involved in networking for my business at the time, and I just loved the community that networking built for me and what it does for other professionals. And I also made it out. Yeah, it builds an amazing community of people that you can really learn from.
Yes.
So I ended up going to conference, which is the ewomen-network International Conference, about 2.5 years ago. And that was the first time. It's in Dallas, Texas in the summers. And it was the first time that I had been exposed to being around a ton of other entrepreneurs and women. And I didn't really realize before that that was even an option, to be an entrepreneur and own my own business.
Ha.
Yeah. So it was like this big light bulb went off, like, oh my gosh, I'm doing this.
It just absolutely must have been for you because, you know, you're so entrepreneurial. You must have really felt like you found your tribe.
I did. I thought, oh my gosh, I can't believe that this didn't dawn on me sooner, that I could just do this on my own. And I really, really identified with the speakers at the conference because I had been leading networking groups in Knoxville at this point, and really just loved being in the front of the room. And not even that I love being in the front of the room, it's that other people always told me what an effect I had on them from speaking. And so I got really just the idea that I want to be a speaker and I want to help people and I want to teach them. And I have all this business training and I really want to do something more with it. So at the time, I didn't have any plans on moving, but realizing that I didn't want to be a financial planner anymore or work with my family anymore, all of a sudden opened the door to me that I didn't have to live in Knoxville anymore. So I didn't know where I wanted to go in particular, and I ended up coincidentally, or not coincidentally, I ended up coming on a trip out to the Gorge to see Dave Matthews with my husband and my brother and another friend of ours. And we ended up meeting this big group of people from Portland, and we were camping for 4 days, so we ended up becoming good friends with them. And during the course of this weekend, telling them all about our desire to move somewhere different. And this was the first I had ever even really, I mean, I'd heard of Portland, but I had never even considered the West Coast at all. And just really fell in love with this group of friends that still are friends today, and ended up coming out and visiting Portland afterwards. And as soon as we visited, we knew that this is where we were supposed to be. And there wasn't an ewomen-network chapter out here, which was one of the groups I was so involved in Knoxville. So I felt very led to start a chapter here and to move out here. And so, you know, there was a series of signs that we just really couldn't ignore when we came back from our trip to Portland, and we just knew that we needed to come out here.
Isn't that great? That's just great.
Yeah.
How wonderful. So Portland just
so it was really neat. Yeah, and it was to the point where, I mean, we were getting so many signs, it was to the point where I finally felt like I wasn't sure if I needed Portland or if Portland needed me.
Yeah.
Because it was just very, I just felt like I had to be out here. I felt really at home with everyone. So within 8 months of going to that conference, I quit my 7-year career, which was not easy. I mean, we managed $140 million at one point, so I had a whole book of my own clients, and it was a big deal to get out of that position because I had thought it was going to be a lifetime career. But that's part of what I want to do is encourage people that even if they feel like they're really tied down, that they're not.
Right. You can always make a shift.
So you can always make a shift. So, got out here and got to Portland, and within 8 months, like I was saying, of going to that conference, got out of my position and got rid of almost all of my earthly possessions, and because I had to load it all into a 6x12 U-Haul, and my husband and I, along with our lots of 3 cats and a dog, we drove for 4 days and came to Portland.
Oh, that's wonderful. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a longtime Portlander, and I'm glad you're here. This is terrific.
Yeah.
That's just fabulous.
Yes, we love it here.
Yeah. And as I say, it called to you. It just reached right out to come get you. So
yes.
So at the same time, were you finding that you also had the passion for entrepreneurship? Is that what was going on?
Oh, definitely.
Definitely.
You know, I had really, like I said, done everything that you're supposed to do, and I'm a very driven person, and I really wanted to be successful, and I felt very just empty when I was 25 years old. I was making six figures, you know, by then. I had everything that I could possibly want as somebody who was a young professional. I had my own house and, you know, horses, which I'm a horsebacker. I had everything I needed financially, but I was so miserable and unhappy because I was so stressed out, and I was not passionate about my work, and it just really didn't feel congruent because I loved helping people, and I wanted to do what I thought was the best thing to do, but at the same time I didn't want to do that for the rest of my life. I wanted to do something that was my passion, my dreams, helping people with my best talents. And so that was the big thing with entrepreneurship, is really being able to offer the world your best gift and be able to help more people that way. And then also, of course, I got used to the fact that I got to pick my own hours as a stockbroker, and I had my own clients and I did have a manager to report to, but not daily, and I really didn't feel like I could go backwards in that, because once you get that taste of what it's like to really control your own schedule and life, it is something that you don't want to give up again.
Oh, no, It's like burning a bridge, you know.
Yeah.
It's almost impossible to go back once you've been in charge of your own time frame and, you know, how you lay out your work, and, you know, are you busiest in the afternoon or even at night, and, you know, how do you do it? It's almost impossible to go back. You know, you can't.
It really is.
You can't put, you know, it's like those kids' toys, you know, where you open the bag and all the spring snakes fly out, you know, and you can't get them back in.
Yeah, exactly like that. And I feel like if people realize that it's accessible, that, you know, if you have the right training and the right people to connect to, it's really, really accessible, I feel like, to anyone. Yes. And so I'm very passionate about inspiring other people to take that leap. Hopefully it's not 2,500 miles, and it hopefully doesn't have to be as hard of a leap, as big of a leap as I do, but really whatever it is in their lives, you know, whatever action they need to take to really move forward into a more happy, fulfilling career in life.
I'm putting it down as take charge of your own life. Take charge of your life, you know, and I talk to a lot of people about doing what it is that they feel passion about. You know, just follow your passion. And I think that that's how we know what we're here for. It's what
I agree.
You know, it's what creates passion and excitement within us. That's what we're here for. And, you know, entrepreneurship is such a way to carry that out, because if you're going to work for anybody else, you're carrying out their dream, not your dream.
Definitely.
And, you know, as wonderful as bosses can be, it's still their vision, you know, and you maybe participate in creating it, but it's their vision. Whereas when you've got your own company, it's your vision. And, you know, that can be scary, but it's also very liberating and very exciting. So I just love it that you're helping people do that. Cause it's
thank you.
Yeah. So do you find that entrepreneurship is growing in importance today, and particularly for women? Do you see trends?
I'm around a lot of entrepreneurs, so I hope so, because I feel like it is for sure. I feel like more and more people are realizing that there are just so many options out there now for being in your own business, whether you want to start with your own business under somebody else's company and learn and train, or you just want to do what I did and just start your own business straight out. There's such an opportunity right now to do that. And, you know, the Internet has given us this gift of being able to work from home and work when you want to and do so many jobs online that I feel like people are really starting to catch on to. This isn't just one of those, you can make money from home kind of doing cold calling or whatever it is. This is really the opportunity with the computer to be in business for yourself and to do whatever you want to do. So I feel like it is so important today, because I feel like it's the solution to, number one, people being happier, more fulfilled, more alive, more passionate, because they're really feeling that they are doing something and having an effect and doing what they're here on earth to do. And then on the other end, like you were saying just a few minutes ago, I think that it's also so important because I truly believe that it is part of the key as to what is going to heal our society is people doing work that they actually are passionate about doing. And I feel that if you're doing that, then you're doing probably the work that needs to be done.
Yes.
You know, it's somebody needs to be doing it. And so it's helping to also fill that void of whatever thing it is that you want to be doing. And for women, it's super, super important. You know, I have a 6-month-old baby, and I didn't even realize that until I had the baby how important entrepreneurship and being able to work from home are. You know, I work now, people ask me how I work, and I work at night. You know, while the baby's asleep, I work from 8 p.m. till 2 a.m. or whenever I can. You know, I never thought I'd be the type of person to work on Saturday night at 9 o'clock. But now that I'm working for myself and I love what I do, I work whenever it fits into my schedule and I fit it in. Yeah. And I think that this gives women this whole other opportunity because it is very hard to have a young child and to work outside of the home.
Yes.
And I get to spend the days with my baby because I work at night. So it's really an amazing thing. And, you know, women, I feel like we are so we're so relationship-based, which is really the way that it's going. And I know that us all working and doing what we're doing is really going to help to our society evolve to a better place. You know, Gandhi said that Western women were going to be the ones that would help save the world. And I feel like, you know, that's us.
That is us. That is us.
So I do think it's so important today.
And I do think that that statement about, you know, Western women is true as we take our place of speaking from our hearts and doing work that is important and doing work that is about what we're passionate about and about healing the planet and about healing relationships and healing families. And, you know, that can't help but spread out and make everything better. You know, because when you're the mother of a little baby and you are happy with what you are doing and you're feeling fulfilled, you can't help but be a better mother. You know?
Yes, definitely. And to influence others. Yeah, you be a better mother, and by doing what I'm doing and what we're doing, it's giving other people permission to really think outside the box and perhaps do it for themselves.
Yes, yes. Well, I think there's a quiet revolution going on in our economy, and you know, that all of the self-employed and mainly the solopreneurs popping up in the workforce, creating their own work. You know, that we've taken a look at what happened in the economy in 2008 and 2009, and, you know, we looked at it and they're saying, oh, man, you know, there's not a spot for me, and so I'm going to create my own work. That's what I'm going to do.
Exactly.
And I think creatives are doing that, and I also think the older people, us, I'm one of them, us Encore, are doing that.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, and saying, well, I'm just going to create my own work. This is what I'm good at. This is the opportunity that I see. This is the need that I see, and I'm going to create my own work. And wow.
Yeah, and I truly believe, that if you pick, I do feel like this exact same thing is going on. And I know that if people pick something and stick with it and get the training that they need, that within a few years, 2 to 5, they can really take it somewhere much higher than they thought they could and have it be a really successful business. So there's huge opportunities out there right now for sure. And it's really neat also to meet entrepreneurs because it's just amazing all of the interesting things that people can do and make it a career. So it's awesome.
Yes, I love it. So you now have 2 businesses, Rebecca Speaking and the ewomen-network. So talk about Rebecca Speaking.
Yeah, so my passion really lies in being in front of people and teaching and just really inspiring people to take action. So I started Rebecca Speaking, and my goal is to really connect people to the resources that they need to be successful in their personal and professional life. And I came to this passion in this business because I got into the world of self-development and business development around the same time that I decided to move out to Portland. And what I found is that, yes, there's a ton of training out there, but it's very overwhelming. And there's a lot of people teaching different training, and there's coaches, and there's videos, and there's just a lot of stuff out there. And I feel like it's easy for people to waste a lot of time, money, and energy trying to figure out what is the best training for them. And so I want to make it easy for entrepreneurs to be connected to the right resources. So I basically teach, and I do that through speaking in front of other groups. I host my own workshops, and then I have online training. I actually have a big platform called Phoenix Success Train, which is launching January 1st. So that's kind of, maybe I'll be back on to talk after the new year about that, because that's cool. And then I also have a mastermind group that I know that we've talked about starting in January, and I'm really getting to figuring out how I can just help as many people as possible. So that's what Rebecca Speaking is really just speaking my mind and helping people. And I talk
energy, Rebecca.
Thank you.
Energy and passion that comes across in your voice. There's a huge warmth in it that I'm sure it inspires people and is attractive to them. I can see why you would be very popular in Rebecca Speaking.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And, that's one of my gifts is that I am extremely outgoing, high energy, driven, and I just have a very, very positive outlook on life. And I rub off on the people around me. I really bring people up. And yes, I'm very passionate about what I do, and people can tell for sure when I speak. So
what are some of the topics that you speak about,
Yeah, so I teach networking, which is what I've been doing this past year, because when I started the group, I found that so many people don't know about networking. So that is also something that I love teaching about, because it's all about building community, and whether it's business or personal, it's so, so important. So I love to speak about networking and really educate people on how to do it properly for their business so that they don't give up on it and so that they don't think that it doesn't work. And I also speak on community building, and continuing to educate yourself and train yourself, because I feel like a lot of people go to school and then they just kind of quit educating themselves. So I speak about continued education and entrepreneurship. And then my favorite topic is to talk about success and to tell my story of moving from Tennessee, and to really talk to people about the skills that they need to be successful in business.
Oh, that's fabulous. I'll bet people could get up and go start businesses.
They do. I hope so.
So it sounds like your message is you can do it. You can do it. It's time for you to do it. If you're here in the room, you're probably here because it's time for you to do it. And
exactly. Exactly. My biggest goal is to get people to take action right away, even if it's something little, because people come to me all the time and say, is this a good business idea? And they want to do about 100 things before they get started. And what I tell them is, go print a business card and start. Start.
Figure it out from there. I'm
exactly. You will figure it out as it comes.
Even though, I work at the Small Business Development Center, and we encourage people to have a business plan. It's not some document, that we're talking about. We're talking probably about maybe 1 or 2 pages where you've thought through your idea, jotted it down on a piece of paper so you can share it with somebody, and gotten some clarity, about what am I doing, what is my pricing model, who am I going to sell to, and start,
And start, you don't have to have your website perfect. You don't have to have, people beat themselves up over that stuff. I'm going over a major overhaul of my website right now. I don't love, how it looks the second, but you know what? It's there. And that's what's important, is that a lot of people wait until the perfect timing, and I think that you just got to do it.
Yeah, you're in the game. Actually, I did a free symposium on the 3rd, I think it was, about, for Better, Smarter, Richer, and I had a woman in the audience that was saying, I do websites and I just have a terrible time with businesses that start up because I can't compete, doing service for them, I can't compete with the templates, like the Vistaprint template and the GoDaddy template.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, why don't you focus your own business on being the second website? because people do need to just start. And
that's so
they
true.
Need to start, and they're going to do something inexpensive so that they get their toe in the water, and then they'll find out about their, how things are working. They'll get more clear about what it is they're selling, what's going on, and then they'll begin looking for more sophisticated tools to work with.
Exactly, how they want their branding. Yeah.
And you'll be there.
Yeah, that's so true. That's a great idea. The second website.
And she just laughed. I said, no, I'm serious about this because, you can't afford to work with people that are, brand new and really don't have money to invest, and they can't afford you and you can't afford them. And in fact, Google is out there competing with you. Google goes around the country and helps people set up free websites. I said, but you can do the second one. So we all agreed that that's really what she ought to do.
Yeah, that's really great advice. And I feel like it's always true in business, but as a newer business owner, it's amazing how quickly you evolve. Yeah. And you might write out all your content and take pictures and have a brand theme in mind. And then, I know this has happened for me, and it happens for many of us over and over again. Then within a year or two, you really shift into a different a different theme and a different thing that you're really wanting to focus on. So I also think it's important to wait to invest the bigger bucks until you have a really clear vision. But sometimes that's a year or two in.
Yeah.
So that's good advice.
Absolutely. So as I say, the start is the thing. I'm with you. So talk about ewomen-network. How does that group work? And what happens with it?
Yeah, it's so much fun. So I was a member in Tennessee for 4 years before I moved out here and started a chapter. And I love this organization because we are so focused on doing networking the way that we hope women do it, which is really based on building long-term relationships and really, really getting to know each other and each other's businesses so that we can not only refer business to each other, but also mentor each other and collaborate with each other and really have a community of people that can help each other. So that's really the goal.
Oh, that's wonderful. That is really great. And so you started the chapter here, but there's chapters all over the country. Is that right?
Correct. There's over 130 chapters, and there's a big one in Seattle that we also like to network with, and wonderful managing director up there, Debbie Whitlock. And that's the nice thing is that you're a member at large, and so you can visit any chapter. But we do have local networking meetings as the main thing that people join for usually, and we have 3 meetings a month. We don't have any attendance or requirements of any kind because it is the relationship building that we focus on. So we have 2 smaller events per month, and then we also have our big main luncheon event, which is our main event each month. And we have a lot of fun. We raise money for a foundation every event. We bring in great speakers from all over the country, and we give people a chance to network there. We have accelerated networking rounds where people are able to share about their business. So
like
one thing that makes me doing a little bit, what?
Is that like speed dating?
Exactly, kind of like that. I like speed dating where you get 1 minute to share about your business. It's great because you also get the practice of getting to talk about it.
Yeah.
And one neat thing is that our networking group, unlike a lot of other ones, is really exclusively entrepreneurs. So that's kind of different in business owners.
Yes, it is. Yeah, because entrepreneurs actually can be anywhere. They can be inside businesses. They can be inside institutions. They can be inside governments, and I think that one of the things that if small businesses, beyond solopreneurs, businesses that have employees and staff, if they're going to be successful, and if big businesses are going to be successful, they're going to have to find ways to encourage entrepreneurship within their organizations. New thinking, creativity, relationship building, bringing forth new ideas, innovation. A team of leaders, in other words.
Oh, well said. Yes, because that will create the excitement within the workplace that is missing a lot of times.
Yes, and that will create the health for the companies that have to have employees to grow, and there's quite a few of those. And people aren't going to work there if they don't have an opportunity to be heard and and be appreciated and have their ideas, considered in things that the company should do. And
so true. Yes.
So entrepreneurs are everywhere. I like that.
Definitely.
So what would be the profile of a perfect candidate for eWomen-network?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. At every meeting, I say that the requirement to be a member is that you are nice, positive, you're a go-getter. But seriously, I do really work hard on attracting the right kind of people. We are looking for people who are like-minded and who are really no cattiness or drama, of course, and just really excited, people who are excited about what they're doing and who want to be surrounded by other visionaries and thought leaders. And I feel like that is something that makes us really unique, is that we're really high quality professionals, and we're really learning from each other. And there's a lot of people who are successful nationwide or internationally, and just really surrounding ourselves with other people that we can learn from. So the perfect candidate would be, women that are between, usually it can be any age, but 25 to 70, or 70 is the new 60, so maybe 80. I don't know, because like you said, so many women are doing amazing things in their later years. So women that are, we have women all over the board that have either just started their own business or who have been in business for a long time and are looking for other people to surround themselves with that are similar. So people who are in business for themselves and are looking for a place where they can really get to know other professional women, whether professional entrepreneurs are their target market or perhaps they're just like associates that they can learn from and talk to. So people who are looking for that kind of group and who like to have fun, because we really do. We have a lot of fun.
Oh, that's great. And it sounds like it's growing.
Oh, it is. I am just so happy because you put in the work and then it shows. And so the first year was I didn't know a soul moving out here.
Right.
And we have 70 members now, which is fantastic. It met my goal for the year and superseded the goal I had set for myself. So yeah, we're really excited. We have 70 members and we're growing really fast. We usually have 5 or 10 new members a month, so we're hoping to get to 100 by this spring. And of course, the goal with growing it is to have as many people there as possible for everyone to meet and network with. And it really benefits all of us to have a larger group. So it's really awesome to see it growing because other members are telling their friends about it and bringing their friends, and we just really want to get the word out there.
So how do you market eWomen-network?
Well, I am a big Facebooker personally.
Okay, well,
I love Facebook. So yes, we have a page on Facebook, and we also have a website, ewomen-network.com, which because it's such a successful company that I work for, they have amazing training tools on their website. Really, it's a complete success system for entrepreneurs. So eWomen-network does a lot of marketing as well, and word of mouth has really been our biggest way of marketing. I do a lot of emails and I go out to a lot of different networking events, so I meet a lot of people that way, but really word of mouth of people, like you said earlier, that it's kind of this buzz going around right now that that people need to at least come visit and check out what's going on.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. So you're using the social media tools. That's another thing that I'm always encouraging people to do. It just seems like that's something you have to do anymore if you want to get known and be out there. So you're using Facebook, and I think that's great. And I know another group of people that has been showing up at our Small Business Development Center are people who will Facebook or do social media for small businesses who don't have time or the interest in doing their own. And so here's a whole other career path that didn't used to exist. And so
yes.
They're copywriters and people who are really good with words, and they'll do Facebook for other people, and therefore you have a presence on Facebook and LinkedIn. And people have said to me, it never occurred to me that somebody could be my voice. And I said, writers are very good at doing that.
We're trying to expand also our social media. So right now I have someone who has volunteered in our group to start are LinkedIn and Twitter and Pinterest. So we're on all of those, but not active. And Facebook's just the site that I have always enjoyed. And because it's hard to do everything, and if you're not going to do it well, don't think it's worth doing. So I have focus on Facebook. But
and that cute little baby of yours is only 6 months old now, but is going to get up and start walking around one of these days, not too long from now. And that will make it even more tricky for you to do.
That's so funny because I forget over and over, that I did all of this in Portland, being pregnant the whole time and having the baby. It's been such an interesting trip and really, really fun. And but yes, she'll probably be on social media, being my helper, by 4 or something.
Oh, probably will. Some of us like me who have really struggled with, the whole social media revolution. I've got a granddaughter. Well, I've got 2 of them. One is 7 and the other one's almost 2. And of course, the iPad, the iPhone,
it's amazing.
frog, games, the social media. I mean, constantly. I mean, they're right there. And, you look at them and you think about how come it's so difficult for me and so easy for them. And finally, I thought, okay, what it really is that they are in such a learning mode every minute of every day. Everything is new. Everything is new. And so it's, the tools, the e-tools and the various different devices are just one more thing. I mean, they've got to learn how a drawer opens and they might as well learn how to use an iPhone. They're equal to them.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's funny because I didn't ever think that I would be the kind of parent who would let my child look at a phone. And I'm not big on TV. I don't actually watch much TV myself, except for things I choose to watch, like TED TV or something like that online. But, I didn't think I'd be the type of parent to give them the screen. But when you think about it, it's really a gift to be able, at their age, and for us, to have access to the Internet at our fingertips. And I feel like really allowing them to learn the technology early on and use it effectively is a huge benefit. And so it'll be interesting to see how I'm able to do that as she grows. But yes, they are such in learning mode. It's just beautiful to watch.
It really is, isn't it? And learning stuff that you take for granted, and it's so new to them. Has she found her hands yet?
Yes, her hands and her feet. In fact, she's a very, very smart 6-month-old. She likes to, I know everyone says that, but she turns like...
Yeah, you're fading out there.
Oh, sorry about that. You there?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, she's very, very smart. She likes to take things apart and put them back together already. And
so you're going to encourage her to be an entrepreneur early?
Oh, she's probably been. I already actually have a website I bought for her that we're going to.
So, Rebecca, do you do any one-on-one coaching with your clients, or do you?
I love working with people one-on-one. I found that doing consultations has been more beneficial than coaching because I have never had a desire to fill a coaching practice one-on-one because I really want to help as many people as possible, and it's hard to have a reach when you do that. So I offer consultations at this point, one-on-one, and good. I am going to be developing online group training programs in the coming year. Okay.
Oh, that's a really good idea. Good. And you said you're starting an Entrepreneur Success Mastermind group. So what is that group about? How is it going to work, and who should be part of it?
Yeah. I love speaking, but I started realizing that it's one thing to tell people what they should be doing, and it's another thing to get them to do it.
Yeah.
And I was really inspired by going to a workshop recently myself and seeing how much growth that I had happened in one 8-hour event when the people up front made me actually do the materials instead of just sending me home with the materials and not having worked through much since the workshop, right? And so that's really the problem that everyone's having is that there's so much training out there. Not only is it overwhelming, but we're all so busy.
Yeah.
And just really it's hard to have the discipline to hold yourself accountable when you have just so many other responsibilities. So that was where the idea of the mastermind group came from. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to start in January, so it's going to be a great time for people who are really wanting to use the new year as an extra reason to catapult their lives. And I'm going from just business training to really success training, which is awesome because I think that in order to be successful, you have to incorporate some personal stuff and some health stuff. So that's the kind of thing that we're going to be incorporating in addition to the business training in this mastermind group. And it's an entrepreneur success mastermind, so the right audience for the group would be people who, I really want to focus on people who are in their first 5 years of business. And it doesn't have to be the first 5 years of business ever, but the first 5 years in the current business that they're in, because I feel like these are people who I can help the most.
Right. That would be good.
And what we're going to do is we're going to meet bi-weekly on the second and fourth weeks of the month in person in an 8-person mastermind. And then we're going to have bi-weekly phone calls on the off weeks, and we're also going to have a private Facebook group where we can all stay connected every day if we want to. And then I'm also going to include consultations with me before and after the 90-day mastermind. So really giving people the opportunity to jumpstart what they're doing. And I'm looking for the people who have been successful at what they're doing, and they just need that extra push of accountability and to really get them to take their life to the next level, whether that be their health or their business, or just really, getting to that next level and having other people to brainstorm with and support you in a group setting. I think that the group that forms there, like most of these kind of groups, will be amazing relationships that we'll be able to carry on. So it's just really an awesome opportunity to get in on some great coaching, and it's actually half the price for the amount of hours that you work with me. So I wanted to make it really accessible. You get half the price for twice the amount of hours that you get of training. So having it in a mastermind like that, and it's a low amount of time commitment since we only meet in person every other week for 2 hours. So it's trying to help people who are busy really, really make significant change in their lives.
So are there other ways that you're planning to grow your business? I think the mastermind group is fabulous. So are there other
things you're doing? Gosh, Jackie, I have so many things that I want to do, and I'm so excited about
full of ideas.
I know. I have so many ideas. So the way that my business is going right now, there's lots of exciting things coming in 2014. So Phoenix Success Training is launching January 1st. So this is a project that I've worked on for a few years. It's an online training program that turns into a membership group after the first 3 months of training that you can choose to stay in or not, and it's going to be an amazing opportunity for people. So that's actually the materials that I'm using to train with in my mastermind group. And so I will be promoting that a lot next year because it's really inexpensive, and we really want to get it into the hands of as many entrepreneurs as possible. And then really, like I was saying a few minutes ago, my goal is to reach as many people as possible and to help them actually do the work. So the mastermind group is something that I'll see if it's a one-time thing or if I continue to do it. But I'm shifting from just business training into success training. So that's looking like it's going to start to cover more than just business. I'm going to be focusing on also helping people with their wealth through my financial planning background and also helping them with their health. So it's going to be success training with health, wealth, and purpose instead of just business training. So I'm super, super excited about where it's going.
That's a nice expansion, Rebecca. I think that's nice.
Thanks.
It's very holistic. And
So you can't be. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Because you finished that. I was going to change the topic.
I was just going to say that you really can't be successful in your business long term if you don't start taking it to a more personal level of taking care of yourself and learning about balance and about health. So I am really, really excited because it's about so much more than just helping with your business. It's about helping people, 100%.
Totally. So do you think that Portland, Oregon is particularly ripe for entrepreneurship programs? So are there more people here starting businesses than, say, in Knoxville where you were?
I really do feel like Portland is progressive. I was in Knoxville. I did not know very many people who had their own business. You know, there's not a lot of coaches in Knoxville. There's not a lot of people that are really branching out on their own. And if they are, they're more working for other maybe multi-level marketing companies, being entrepreneurs underneath them or something like that. So, you know, like I had said, I knew very few entrepreneurs before I moved out here. And being a part of the ewomen-network group and going to a national conference where it brought everyone to one place is where I really saw the opportunity. And I really hope that by moving to Portland and doing this, that I'm giving people the idea in places like Knoxville where maybe entrepreneurship's not as popular. I'm really giving them the courage to see that they can do it too. And I do feel like Portland is just, you know, I think any larger city is going to be a little bit riper for entrepreneurship just because of the sheer amount of people and opportunities. You know, the weak law of large numbers, I don't know if you know, that basically says that, you know, the more people you have, it's just amazing what can happen. So I feel like being a bigger city, also Portland's known for being progressive, and I think that, like we've already said, entrepreneurship is where it's going, and Portland, I think, is on the cutting edge of it.
That's cool. So what do you think makes entrepreneurs different from other people? Since you've, you know, been on the other end of it as well, what makes entrepreneurs different?
Well, it's funny because I feel like all of us, not all of us, but most of us, you know, some people do enjoy working regular jobs like doctors and nurses. Of course, we need every kind of person. But I feel like a lot of people are entrepreneurs, and they're not that much different than us. But the difference between them and entrepreneurs is that the entrepreneurs have had the courage to do it. And I love a Robert Frost quote, which he says, freedom comes from the courage to be bold.
Yes.
And
I like that too.
I think that's the difference, you know, is that entrepreneurs are bold and we have courage.
And courage, which is heart, you know. That's the same.
And you have to be you have to have self-drive. And the thing is that when people start doing stuff they're really passionate about, that does come very quickly. And I think that what else makes us different from other people is that I really do think that we're happier and we're more fulfilled because we have done, taken the risk that a lot of people won't take, and with that comes great reward.
And you know what I think is important, and you as a mother, I keep coming back to that little 6-month-old little girl you've got.
Oh, she's so cute, yeah.
is to encourage her to do that as she grows up, because I talk to a lot of people who don't realize they've got an entrepreneurial side to them, you know, until they're much older, much later in life, and it's such a thing, you know, for them to take the risk to step out on their own, and
it's scary, yeah.
They've kind of been put down their whole life, but all of a sudden here they are, you know, trying something and it's being very successful. But, you know, as the mother of a young child, part of what you can do is encourage her to have that courage and take the risk and be bold. And sometimes you'll face that because she'll be bold, and it will be the time when you think, oh, my God, not about that.
I love it. And, you know, another thing I heard recently that's right along this line is, why I don't remember who said it, but why don't we tell all of the little girls that we call bossy leaders?
Yes. Yes.
And it's so true. I was that kid, you know, who was bossy, and I do think that you can recognize these traits in young kids. Heck, even at 6 months, she's got so much strong determination and will, and really encourage it, because it's not something that's being taught yet in schools, and it really, I'm hoping that we can get more and more to the point where it's something that people can get degrees in and really pursue higher education without having to go look for it themselves so much. So I think that's the way it's going for sure. It's exciting.
At Portland Community College, we're really encouraging the college, and we've got some interest among at least one of the deans, maybe several of the deans, to promote an associate's degree in entrepreneurship. And we keep thinking that everything that they do should offer people a certificate, also a certificate in entrepreneurship. So if you're going to get your associate's degree,
that's a great idea.
Marketing, that then you can get a certificate in entrepreneurship and have some idea of how to take your graphic design skills or your marketing skills or even your acupuncture skills or your engineering skills and open your own business, because that's really what's happening out there, you know, and that's what people are interested in. So I hope we move along that line, because what we see is that the whole thing's just bubbling, with people who are so excited about doing what they want to do at last. Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
So we've only got a few minutes left, and so I've loved talking with you. Do you have any general words of advice for anybody that might be considering an entrepreneur venture?
Yeah. I think that it's really important that people hire people to help them. I think that that's something that so many people shy away from, and I think it's so important to have a coach or training, and there's so much, there's so many accessible options out there for people no matter what their budget is. So my main piece of advice would be to get people to help you. You can't do it alone, for sure. And to do your own research, really be on a quest to educate yourself. There's so many free videos and resources out there. So really to make it 15 minutes a day, if you have to, but schedule in at least a small amount of time each day where you're educating yourself on what you're passionate about so that you can move forward in that. And then, finally, just really to build community for yourself. As I said, I love to teach how to do that and to help people do that, because when you have an army of people behind you, you feel unstoppable.
Yeah, and I think with what we've been talking about with all the e-tools and the being online, that, we have instant access to billions, literally billions of people around the world, and that makes it even more important to come down and have your own close, small community around you, because it's
so
too big. It's just way
so
too
true.
Big. Yeah. So
it's really important. Personal relationships, exactly.
Oh God, yes. Mm-hmm. So if some of our listeners would like to contact you, how can they get hold of you?
Yeah, the easiest way to reach me is at my email, which is Rebecca@RebeccaSpeaking.com, or they can call me at 865-643-1336, and you can definitely find me on Facebook. My full name is Rebecca Hester Miller, with an H, Hester, and Rebecca Speaking and the ewomen-network Portland chapter also have pages, and we have a luncheon coming up, a holiday extravaganza, next Wednesday the 18th. So I would love to invite listeners to consider coming to that ewomen-network event. And if they have any questions about the mastermind or would like more information, definitely call or email me.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, I have loved your enthusiasm and your commitment and your entrepreneurship and your inspiration and your spirit, Rebecca. It's been wonderful talking with you today. And listeners,
thank you so much.
Oh, I've just loved having you. And listeners, I just want to remind you that we are on every week, and we will be on the same time next week. And in the meantime, we've got some events also coming up for Better, Smarter, Richer. Today, December 11th, we have we're going to have a meetup at the Matador on East Burnside, if you want to join us, starting at about 4 o'clock. And also for you who are Better, Smarter, Richer alums, we have a booster shot tomorrow, December 12th from 9 to 11 at the Portland Community College Climb Center. Love to see you. And our next study group is beginning on Tuesday, January 7th, 9 to 11, 4 weeks of working with a study group, kind of like Rebecca's mastermind group, where we're going to work the exercises in Better, Smarter, Richer, and with a cohort, and we talk about your challenges, your insights, your ahas, and your yeah buts. You know how those yeah buts hold us back. So all of you listeners, I've been delighted to talk with you today. Again, this is Jackie B. Peterson, but www.bettersmarterricher.com, and I hope that you will tune in with us again next week. Goodbye.